Hello guys and welcome to the second episode of Valorant Busted. In this episode we are going to determine whether or not you can tie a round. The quick answer is no, even if you both die at the same time. Me and my friend Zeltron went into a custom server to test some of these theories out. First of all, we tried Raze, whose grenade does damage to herself too. We lowered our HP to 12 HP with no armor. We would shoot each other in the foot 4 times with the classic to get ourselves to hit 12 HP, and then I would throw a grenade in the middle of us that killed us both on the first explosion. We sampled this 10 times and Zeltron never won a round, which gave us some ideas as to what and why, which allowed us to build an initial theory. For our second test, we tried doing it with different HPs, as we thought that I took less damage to the grenade as it was my own. For this test, we had a sample size of 5, in which I, as the Raze, was lowered to 12 HP, and he was lowered to 34 HP, in order to see if the amount of HP mattered. To come to your surprise, it had no effect, and I still won all 5 rounds, despite having lower HP, which proved to follow the tracks of my first theory. For our third test, we tried using Brimstone mollies. However, this test was kind of a bit invalid as Brimstone takes a significant less amount of damage when stood in his molly, so we had to make ourselves 3 HP so that one tick in the molly would kill us both at the same time. We sampled this test 5 times, which came to show that Zeltron, who was the Brimstone, won all 5 rounds, which also followed the theory we devised after the first test. So you've got this far and want to know why? Well, here it goes. The answer to the title of this video, can you tie, is no you can't. This is because of one of 2 reasons. Reason 1 being the server delay, as talked about in the previous video, who sees who first, where a possible unstable part of the testing could have come from internet connection to the data servers. One of us could have had a lower connection, one of us could have had a higher latency. However, we didn't think this was the case, and we couldn't really prove if it was the case, so I think reason 2 is more valid. Before I get on to reason 2, if you haven't seen episode 1 of Valorant Busted, I highly recommend you go watch it by clicking the card in the top right. Reason 2 as to why you can't tie is that I think that there is coded information into Valorant that whoever died to their own weapon at the same time as the enemy wins the round, even despite the way the kill feed says the player died as. Sometimes it said, I died first, and sometimes it said Zeltron died first. This reason seems to be the most valid as to why and how you cannot draw a round. For people who think you can still draw around because you killed someone at the same time as they killed you in a match, I think that if they were the last 2 players, it would have caused a draw. You are wrong. It's not possible because for this to happen, there has to be the exact same amount of data flow from both players to the data servers at the exact same time, which is pretty much impossible. So to conclude, fully and finally, no, you cannot draw a round or a game. It is impossible unless Valorant added a drawing feature with the competitive style gameplay. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Valorant Busted. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and if you have any other questions or problems you would like me to test, comment them below. If you don't want to miss another episode of this series, then subscribe to the channel. Thank you.